Good morning and welcome back to Montana. I am very much ready to just put my garden to bed, put it to rest. A little bit of prep work needs to happen before I can just leave it alone for the whole winter. And one of those things is going and collecting some seeds so I don't have to buy seeds next spring. So I'll show you guys how I do that. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Cece. My husband Kirk and I homestead in the big beautiful state of Montana. And I started buying heirloom seeds several years ago. I have not figured out how to collect seeds from every single plant, but green beans, peas, and lettuce are fairly simple to do, and so I'm gonna go out there and collect the peas and the green beans. It works best if you can leave it on the plant until they dry. You'll see that with my peas. My green beans, it's too late in the year to do that. I'm gonna go ahead, just pull them, put this in the sun porch, they'll dry just fine. Okay, here is a pea that's already starting to open up. This is what happens when they dry. And so you just have dried peas. I'm gonna try to put him back in here so I don't lose him. But once they dry, they take very little to open up, and sometimes they open up by themselves. And you have perfectly dried pea seeds. Okay, I got all the peas. And then I just pulled all the pea plants up by the roots and I just laid them down. I have a major grass problem in my garden, and every year I keep thinking maybe I'll do a cover crop. And one year I want to, but the problem is that takes a lot of extra work at the end of the garden season, and most years we do not have a lot of extra time at the end of the garden season because we never know when snow's coming. We have to cut a lot of firewood because we burn mainly wood for our heat source. So come September, October, we put all our free time into getting wood. And to do a cover crop, I think, like I said, I've never done one, I would have to rototill this whole garden, sprinkle seeds, and then put water on it and allow it to have a little bit of time to grow before it gets cold and freezes. That's not gonna happen. One year, like I said, hopefully it will, but I don't see it happening. So I'm gonna try something new this year. I'm just gonna take all my plants out and just lay them down, and then we have the chicken shed we need to clean out, so then I can put all that chicken poop on my garden and just let everything just sit for the winter. We have really high winds in the fall and in the winter, so I don't want to rototill anything under because I could literally lose dirt, like the topsoil, due to the wind. So we're gonna try it this year. Next spring I may completely regret doing this, and you don't know unless you try. Each garden is different, each person's garden's a little different, each environment is different, and you have to figure out what works best for you, and sometimes it's just learning new things, trying new things, and seeing what works. And so I'm no expert gardener. I just try new things every now and then to see if something works. And that's what I'm going to do this year, is leave everything in my garden, just pull it out so it quits pulling nutrients out of the soil, even though it's half dead. And just lay it all down and let it just soak in. It will be 6 months till I can even get out here next year and do anything with it. So hopefully by then it will have put a lot of the nutrients back into it, kind of decompose, kind of treat it like compost, and go that route. Hopefully a layer of chicken poop will help with that as well. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tackle the lettuce seed, and then I'm going to do the same thing with my green beans. Just pull them all out, pull the big ones off, throw them in my basket, and go that route. Okay, here you can see that my lettuce has bloomed, and so I'm going to take my scissors and my envelope I'm gonna try to cut. Okay, it's gonna get really windy, but I have some radish pods here. And I believe if I let these dry, just like I do peas and beans, there will be seeds inside of these, and these will be my radishes. I did want to mention, you don't have to let a bunch of your stuff go to seed to be able to have seeds for the next year. One radish plant, maybe two, is going to give me more than enough seeds for next year's planting. Same thing with my green beans. I canned probably 25 quarts of green beans, and so just by like accidentally not getting every single bean when I go to pick my green beans, I'm going to have way more than enough that I need for next year's planting. If you want, you could designate 1 or 2 plants maybe at the end of your rows, and you're like, I'm just gonna let those go to seed and use those for next year, and you can harvest everything beyond that. It really takes 1 or 2 plants to provide your seeds for your next year. Obviously depending on how much stuff you're planting, but 1 or 2 plants normally will give me more than enough what I need for the next year's planting. One other thing I do want to point out, this guy looks very similar to my lettuce. This is a weed. I did not plant him, so I do not want to harvest his seeds. Same thing with this guy. He looks very, very similar, and if I open him up, you can see right here, he has all those nice little black seeds. I don't want those. I don't want these black seeds because that will mean I'm planting a weed. Now, it is, I believe, classified as a wild lettuce, but it's basically a weed. I know the stuff that I harvest was truly my lettuce, because if you look, you can see all of this is lettuce with the flowers on top. But then this guy right here is a random weed. He looks very similar. Make sure you're harvesting the right stuff and not weeds by accident. This is a spinach that went to seed, and I don't know if you can see, but right here are the spinach seeds. So if you just let a few things go to seed, you'll soon learn, especially when you plant your stuff, you'll soon learn to know what you're looking for when it comes to seeds, because that's kind of what a spinach seed looks like. Whoop, I lost him. I'm not going to harvest spinach because I have lots of that still in the freezer from years past. Okay, next up I'm going to be harvesting my green beans, and as you can see, this guy is turning like a faded color already. The 3 frosts that we have gotten already have obviously killed my green beans. So up here, I know I've left quite a few intentionally at the end of my rows to come back and pick. But if you kind of look around, I can kind of see some bigger ones left in here. So pull all of these off out of the ground, pull the green beans, throw them in my basket. Okay, I got way more than I'll ever need, so I might sell seeds. Maybe this spring I'll start selling some green bean seeds. Next step we're gonna do is we are just pulling out everything, and things that I know will kind of break down, we're just gonna lay down. Corn stalks we're gonna pull all the way out because they don't break down very well. And just like that, garden is done. Other than some poop on it, and maybe more dirt comes first. But garden going to bed. Okay, final step of drying the seeds as I am out here in our sun porch. It's kind of messy, but you can kind of see the basket. And I'm just gonna leave the green beans and peas in there. Ideally, if I had enough space, if I could lay them out dry fully, that would be the best option. But currently I don't really have anything to do that with. So maybe once things slow down and I wanna get them all laid out, I may take them into our house along the tile and lay them out. But I'm gonna show you guys what I did with the radish and the lettuce seeds. Okay, these are the radishes. I'm just gonna let them stay in their pods and let dry out. The lettuce, hopefully those will also continue to dry out. Back there I have some rose hips and a little bit of basil that I'm drying out. And honestly, these will probably be just kind of forgotten about and left out here for a while till they're good and dry. You can kind of see some of the lettuce seeds already kind of came out. And just kind of spread them on a little bit and go from there. But yeah, I'm gonna let them air dry for a while. So until next time, hope you guys have a great one. It is a big relief to just have the garden be at rest now until spring, because you never know when the snow is going to fly. So it is definitely time to move on to the next fall project that we have. And I may take you guys along for that. We'll see. Anyways, have a great one. Bye.